Alright, I'm back. Whew. Let's get back into it, shall we? Sorry, my mind's still dwelling on what happened. So yeah, that was the end of the second raid tier. Gonna unlock the Savage now and get some more lore on Omega. And yeah, it looks like we've... I was almost crying there about what Alpha did, but Midgard Torma was the one who ended up actually saving our lives, and it looks like we're not going to be seeing him anymore. Apart from, like, his spirit's gone for now to go to sleep. But all we have left is this little, this little figure of him. That's it. It's, it moves around and everything, but it's not really him anymore. So he's gonna go off and take a little lengthy nap. For who knows how long. So not exactly a sacrifice. It's not like it's not like he actually died, but so not a sacrifice to that level of severity, but it was still a sacrifice. He still used up all the power he had to, to be conscious and talk to us and everything. Well, hopefully we'll see him again someday. Flip. Initializing. Welcome. How may I assist you today? Access the Savage Initiative Phase 2. Hold on, let's read the Omega records. Military Officer Record 1. So the first two records we read earlier was the Technologist. This time it's Military Officer writing this. Flip. Military Division, designation 151737. Initial archive recording for the Omega Enterprise. It is the year 1098 of the Alagan Empire. That's like 500 years ago from right now, isn't it? Our campaign in the southern continent of Mericidia has succeeded in revitalizing our ailing society, stagnant as it was from long years of peaceful reign. So this is after Zonde was revived by Amon. The expansion effort itself, however, has encountered unexpected resistance. Rather than submit, the beast clans of these southern lands have begun performing rituals to call forth their tribal deities. One such god is proving particularly troublesome, the resurrected form of the worm Bahamut. Oh. When the Asians taught the dragons of Mericidia to, revive their late Bahamut by summoning a primal that looks like Bahamut, basically. Though we dispatched this formidable creature once already, the prayers of its worshippers have returned it to life with a power orders of magnitude greater than before. We must be thankful, then, for the grand vision of our Emperor. In his infinite wisdom, he sees potential value in even the most deadly of foes. The capture and containment of Acons has proven well within our capabilities, and such will be the fate of Bahamut. We shall imprison this entity along with its faithful, and siphon its energy to fuel our latest technologies. The truths we discovered in the close of Bahamut, yeah. This is them discussing the creation of those, basically. At present, the Emperor leads his Nightfall Company in an inexorable advance across the continent. And the battle shifts in our favor even as the crystal supplies of our enemies continue to dwindle. If we are to strike at the Worm God, there will be no better time. Omega is the key to victory. We will awaken the weapon sealed away in centuries past and command it to subdue the unsuspecting Bahamut. History shall know this moment as the Omega Enterprise. And then it put it inside the moon of Dalamud that they then launched into space. The details of the Omega Enterprise will be documented in a separate archive. This recording is concerned with the nature of Omega itself. The weapon is ancient, a relic from beyond the stars that was discovered around the time of our first Emperor's passing. Research into Omega's properties was responsible for incredible leaps in the field of aetherochemistry. 400 years ago, however, towards the end of Alag's technological revolution, this research was deemed complete. Omega was subsequently placed in temporal stasis. The truth of the matter was not that there was not left to learn, rather that we had abandoned our efforts to fully comprehend Omega's functions. They gave up. But at least they got a bunch of reverse-engineered technology from it, right? We had gleaned much from the relic and understood many of its basic operations, but we were never permitted to analyze its internal structure or determine the identity of its creators. All attempts to gain full control of the machine appear to have failed. And now, centuries later, we have rediscovered how completely the true power of Omega exceeds our wildest imaginings. Even with its stasis systems activated, Omega retained a measure of autonomy. Deprived of mobility, the weapon continued to scan the world around it, searching for a threat to engage. That explains why it went after Shinryu so quickly. It was at the time of Bahamut's resurrection when Omega emitted a unique signal, a signal which appeared to indicate the acquisition of a target, and we first discovered that the machine had retained some degree of awareness. Records were consulted, and we concluded that Omega was more than a match for the Godworm's strength. And if the weapon had already identified Bahamut as a priority threat, then it would be a simple matter to command to capture the Akon. The risk was deemed acceptable, and thus we executed the Omega Enterprise. As predicted, Omega triumphed over its prey. We secured Bahamut and eventually succeeded in returning the weapon to its former stasis, an effort from which the ranks of both our military and research divisions have yet to recover. Holy shit. Oh, I see. Yeah, not fighting Bahamut, but rather, yeah. After Omega did that, them recapturing Omega and putting it back into stasis cost a lot of their military and research personnel, I guess. That means Omega didn't really let itself be recaptured without a fight. Makes sense. Closing session. Thank you for your visit. Bloop. Also, it said a login year 1098 or something, right? That's separate from Mars. That's not 500 years ago. That was still thousands of years ago, I think. I can't remember, though. I'm pretty sure it was much longer than that, but I don't know. Like, it could be a separate calendar. I can't really keep it straight right now. Alright, now, access the Savage Initiative Phase 2. This is my first time reading these records, by the way. They flew right over my head. Like, I totally did not even bother to read them for some reason. The first time through, when I wasn't streaming it. Hey, it's this music. Hamamizu. The underwater music. Beep. Good morrow, valued employee. Thank you always for your tireless efforts. As part of the Savage Initiative, we bring you Phase 2 of our Mending Melody selection. A composition designed to rejuvenate both body and spirit. With soothing, relaxing music, right? The song brings to mind a gentle sea, the ebb and flow of the tide, a rhythmic balm upon the exhaustion of your soul. It does sound like... Yeah, that's a great way to describe this song, actually. It's beautiful. As with our first installment, we sought the cooperation of the same illustrious minstrel. For this piece, it seems he has drawn inspiration from his recent visits to the Far East. The fuck? So he was there? Now, close your eyes and float upon a calm ocean of music. Let your worries be carried away by the waves as they swell and recede, swell and recede. I like how Alpha's watching us like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Clear your mind and allow new vistas to unfold. Hear, feel, and ponder their mysteries. You alright there, Leon? Don't try too hard. Sigmascape Savage now accessible. Yet doing the Savage content is nowhere near that relaxing and peaceful. As people who have done it will tell you. Alright, Jesse? In the beginning, there was chaos. Alpha's face! All determined in that little picture. Good timing, Leon. There's been another anomaly detected at the Yawn. Assuming previous instances are anything to go by, this energy fluctuation is another of Omega's so-called invitations. If you don't mind waiting a moment or two, then we can discuss things with Master Garland. He should be here soon. Excuse me. Hey, little buddy. Long time no see. Oh, really? The chief should be here by now. I bet my stock in the company he's fiddling with that research data. It's alright. I can wait a little bit. But what are you talking about? Hmm? Well, I suppose I should explain, even if the chief might prefer me not to share. What's up? After your last run-in with Omega, Master Garland had some research notes smuggled in from the Empire. From Garlemald. The notes are part of Midas Nan Garland's legacy, who was, of course, the chief's father and the Empire's preeminent engineer. Excuse me. The incident at Bob's Citadel. Do you know of it? I know of it. I met someone who... Well, they didn't survive it, they weren't there, but they had family there. The person who taught me how to be a gunbreaker. Good old Radovan. I suppose you would. Even outside the Empire, the tale was a famous one. Midas built a tower to harness Dalamud's power, and it brought annihilation upon the entire town in which it was built. That isn't the kind of event you can simply brush under the rug. True? And as you can imagine, the job of sifting through the rubble afterwards was no pleasant task. Master Garland was slated to assume his father's position as head engineer, but this disaster, added to his opposition to the Empire's path of conquest, convinced him to abandon his homeland. So that's why he turned coat. The chief has wanted nothing to do with the lunar transmitter or the data used to create it, until now. Oh, I see. It's too close to home because of his father and all that. It's... Oh! Maybe this is what Nero was referring to by when he said you need to unchain yourself. And then Sid got all angry. I realized he might have a point. I think he means to put that research to use in your conflict with Omega. In fact, given the time frame, there can be no other explanation. Listen to me, Leon. The chief genius is plagued by a great deal of apprehension. But even so, once he makes a decision, he doesn't do things by halves. When the time comes, he'll come through for us. You have to believe that. I sound like Nero now. But sure, I get it. Sorry I'm late. I was a little too focused on my work and lost all sense of time. That's no excuse, Chief. What have I told you about being punctual to staff meetings? In any case, I've shared the situation at the Yawn with Leon here. Good. Then you know that Omega is likely to ready... Oh, shit. I mean, it was either interrupt myself like that or get interrupted by sneezing. Good. Then you know that Omega is likely ready to continue with its tests. Shall we go and knock on the door? But, Chief, Biggs and Wedge aren't fit for fieldwork yet, and the Chirurgeons give Nero strict orders to stay abed. And what of Midgard Sormer? Still taking his nap, is he? Yeah. I don't think he'll be waking up from that for a while. That leaves only you, Leon, and Alpha. Maybe it's time I join the expedition. No, Jesse, I need your talents elsewhere. There's a half-built device in the workshop that I need you to finish putting together. I've drawn up the design and completed the core mechanisms. The final assembly should pose no problem for an engineer of your abilities. A new device? Does this mean you use the... Oh, the lunar transmitter data? Whatever you say, Chief. I'll have it ready and waiting for you. Just be safe in there. Right. Back to the rift for us. Let's finish these experiments and bring the fight to Omega itself. Affirmative. See? Even he's pumped up. He's like, let's fucking do this. Let's move out. See you later, Jesse. I'll do my part in the workshop. You just concentrate on surviving the rift. Will do. Come on, Midgie. Or I should say Midgie's shadow, I guess. Excuse me. What's up, Sid? Are you ready, Leon? Oh yeah, I forgot to look down there. Look at that. Way more junk floating around. It's a mixture of Delta and Sigmascape platforms that we used to stand on. Ready to put an end to this. Aye, there's no room for hesitation. We press on, come what may. What about you, Alpha? All set to go? Quick, quick, quick! That's the spirit. Let's dive right in, shall we? I like that you can give them you can choose the response that says, I'll do it alone. I wonder what he would have said. No quest battle this time, though. We're just straight back here. We're missing some test worlds. Omega's experiments must be nearing an end. Welcome. Welcome. Your arrival has been highly anticipated. And I will confirm your earlier supposition. My experiments have indeed reached the final stage. Of the 89 test subjects I trialed, four side group combatants emerged victorious. Of those four, further conflict determined the strongest among them. This surviving specimen shall be your opponent. We've come to the last round of testing, then. Should we win this battle, are we to finally face you in combat? Affirmative. Such an outcome would allow me to pursue my objective to its conclusion. Wanted to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator impression there. I would continue analyzing the qualities which allow you to prevail despite your frailty, and integrate said qualities into my own arsenal. I will be pleased if my experiment yields the relevant data, but engaging you directly is still the most efficient and reliable testing method. My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer. Blip. Omitting intermediary steps. Evaluation of combat potential deemed superfluous. Proceeding immediately with final experiment. So yeah, no quest battle. We're just going straight in. We're going in raw, baby. Raw! Stop. Oh. Alpha, your task is complete. Your presence amongst these test subjects is no longer required. What do you mean by that? I will guide your progress personally from this point onwards. Alpha's role in transferring authority is now obsolete. Aww, you hurt his feelings. You bastard. Even so, Alpha is a valued companion, and if he wishes to continue on with us, I have no intention of leaving him behind. Companion. Companions are those who provide mutual benefit. The instant Alpha's authority became redundant, he lost his sole qualification to be regarded as such. Furthermore, the primary function of Alpha's existence was to lure you into my domain. He would be more accurately described as bait. Test subject Alpha can neither confirm nor deny my statement. He possesses no memories prior to his encounter with you. He was the first entity I created here in this realm, my first and only attempt to recreate a being who shared your mundane parameters. I based his incarnation upon a most ordinary life form, one which had somehow bested an enemy whose strength rivaled my own. I think they were making a reference to a little spin-off of Final Fantasy called Chocobo Dungeon. I see it referenced, at least by title and logo, in that one YouTube video I have in my playlist that has all the Final Fantasy final boss music. We saw one, I think, yeah, when we were waiting in queue for the Void Arc one time, and I was actually showing the video on screen. There was a Chocobo Dungeon version of Final Fantasy XI's final boss, I think. Something like that. And yes, the Chocobo, the main character, the little Chocobo, looks exactly like Alpha, was based off of Boko, which is Bartz's Chocobo from FF5. So I guess he's talking about the final boss for that little video game, which I've never seen it before. So, by observing the feeble creatures in the feeble creature in the heat of battle, I sought to understand the source of this contradiction. I repeated the experiment once, twice, 1,000 times, yet the results never deviated from estimated projections. He's killed a shit ton of alphas in his experiments. Look at this! The test was an abject failure, and thus I resolved to adapt my methodology. I would focus instead upon simulating powerful opponents and summon mortals of natural origin here to combat them. For Alpha, I devised a new purpose. I erased his memory, implanted a compulsion to return to me, then ejected him into your world. Weak beings exhibit a tendency to form groups. I surmised that this instinctual behavior would aid Alpha in bringing me the test subjects I required, a function he has performed with adequate competence. Tell me something, Omega. This ability of yours to generate matter was not originally intended for creating other life forms, was it? Blip. Your query bears little relevance to the topic at hand. Affirmative. I was equipped with matter generation capabilities for the purpose of unlimited self-improvement and armament expansion. Fabricating life forms was not the intended function, but the practice is not otherwise prohibited or problematic. Just making clones, just creating life, just playing God for the fuck of it, because, you know, it's useful and convenient. Yeah. I disagree with you there. As an engineer, I would advise against using such technology for purposes outside its design. From the very start, you've been making the same mistake. Even the powerful subjects of your test worlds were made crippled and incomplete. It is conviction which drove those villains to terrible greatness. The same limitless conviction which allowed weakling heroes to overcome them. That's true, actually. For thinking back to FF5 and 6, yeah? Do you not understand? Then we will never lose to your creations, no matter how much stronger they should be according to your soulless calculations. Come, Leon. Let's be on our way. You too, Alpha. Come on, buddy. Still part of the team. Let's go. Alpha has literally experienced 1,000 deaths. It's all those feathers. I need to change something. I can't be switching tabs mid-battle, so... And I need to be able to communicate with my party for most of this. Especially this last set. I'm gonna turn on party chat for general. Instead of just having it in the battle tab. I say switching tabs because only in the general tab can I see what the text log of what they say in those chat bubbles during the fights. The things I try to read out loud while I'm trying to fight. Kettle is empty. Well, our group kind of just got smaller and smaller as we went on, didn't it? Biggs, Wedge, and now even Nero aren't here, so there's no one really to drink coffee out of this anymore. It was bad, man. We're all alone now. It's just us three. Bye. See? Alpha feels it too. I have our base camp up and running. You can dive into the final test world whenever you wish. As for the world's inhabitant, Omega has generously provided us with a basic profile. Your opponent's name is Chaos. The first heroes defeated this evil in a conflict that took place so long ago, I'm having trouble separating myth from history. Oh! Chaos from Final Fantasy 1! Holy shit, the final boss for FF1, huh? Unless, of course, this is an entity from another reality, as were the denizens of the Sigmascape, in which case it may be pointless to even attempt to confirm the details. What is certain, however, is that this Chaos stands triumphant over a roster of truly monstrous test subjects. It promises to be a grueling battle, but one which will open the gate to fighting Omega itself. That must be the temple. I almost said the Temple of Time. I'm thinking of Zelda here, no. That temple where the Warriors of Light first fight Garland, right? Who then becomes Chaos by the end of the game in FF1. The hell is the temple called, though? It's like, it's all destroyed and in ruins like you see there. But then you travel into the past to actually defeat Chaos, and it's like, you know, the final dungeon. It's fully built and everything. Like, it's in pristine condition, I mean. Alpha, you and I will need to provide support for Leon. Will you be my assistant? You're bothered by what Omega said earlier? You think you're responsible for dragging us into this mess? Aww. Trust me when I say this is not your fault. We were the ones who awakened Omega, and we're the ones who need to deal with the consequences. He's not convinced. By the way, do you still have that card you used to boil water in the kettle? It's been brought to my attention that I'm a spoiled blue blood who can't even refill a pot without constant reminders. If you could take charge of that, then it would be most helpful. What? Just cheering him up by giving him something to do and making him feel like he's still part of the team. As he is, he's still one of us. We don't consider him a bad guy for luring us here. It was beyond his control. 'Tis convenient without Midgard-Sormer here to translate his chirping. Inconvenient, sorry, without Midgard-Sormer here to translate his chirping. Still, the best medicine for his worries is for you to win this next contest. Let's show him we're on top of things, eh? Right. I wonder what Nero would have to say about this Chaos fellow. Ancient technology is his specialty after all, and by default he's learned a thing or two about the mythology and history of bygone eras. How's it going, Alpha? Where? Where? It's working. Got the little card there. Yeah, I guess Sid still drinks coffee. I don't, but, you know. Sid still needs it. This place has gotten a lot smaller. It really is just this one egg, and then him staring us in the face. Alright, let's do it. AlphaScape version 1. While you recuperated from the latest round of testing, Omega's trials proceeded apace. Of the 89 combatants in Psi Group, 4 emerged victorious. Of those 4, 1 proved itself the mightiest entity of the last remaining test world, a champion designated as Psi-4. This immensely powerful being will be your opponent as you strive to complete the final stage of Omega's grueling experiments. It was later revealed that the Umbrella Corporation was behind the— oh wait, sorry. I was reading that too much in the tone of the narrator for Resident Evil 2 original, so couldn't help myself. Case was apparently closed. I like how he interrupts himself. Anyway, well, back to waiting in queue for a while, so you know what that means. Okay. Thank God these are going by a lot faster. I was just lowering the volume on my TV too. Alright, we'll save that for later. Good shit, let's do it. I'm about to wonder what the fuck I was gonna do to pass the time too. I was like, should I run around like an idiot? Make laps around here or something else? Fuck, it's getting dark. I should have turned on the light. Whatever. I'll do that after this. Alpha Skate version 1.0. Oh, shit. There it is. That classic Final Fantasy 1 battle music. And yes, he has another head for a penis. This guy. Well, technically, I guess you could also think of it as a head anyway, right? But, I mean, this is an actual head. It's got a face on it. Look, they're dancing! My party members, I mean. Go for it, buddy. Chaotic Dispersion. Thousand Tank Buster? Okay. Moving on. Longitudinal Implosion. Grovel in terror, the flames hunger for your flesh. Holy shit! Oh, hell no. I didn't know that knocked you back. Holy shit. I think we're a little unbalanced, but it's okay. Despair at your hollow fate, and the winds will strip away your skin! Holy shit. Okay, so now that's the area of denial. This is tough. Okay, so there's no need to take the damage in there. Oh, shit. Take him to the corner, so I get it. What are those gonna do? I remember that mechanic. I was like, I'm a tank, I gotta take one of those. Where was my coat tank though? Okay, they took the other one, good. I was afraid I let a healer or a DPS take the other one on the other side. Tremble before the might of a god. Bowels of agony? Holy shit! That fucking hurt and I can't heal right now. Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I can't even get into the damn healing field. Oh lord, he coming. He's charging up his laser! The crystal! Destroyed? You dare! Yeah, that's right, we went there and we bought property, asshole. What about it? Damning edict. Scurry and flail, little mortals. The raging tide will claim you all. Back together. Oh my god. Okay, we're good. Do it again. Jesus. This is intense, dude. Knockdown. Oops! Why did I do... Jesus Christ. Wrong fucking button, goddamn. At least I survived it because I was invincible, but god damn it, that was the wrong goddamn button. Fuck, I even put Super Blood in a different place so I wouldn't fucking hit it, and I'm still hitting it. Jesus. There we go, the Dragoon level 3 limit break, let's go! Nail him! Send him straight to fucking Broadway. Oh, he's finished now. There we go. Woo! That was one hell of a battle. Jesus. Oh, yeah, I actually got sweaty palms on that one. Chick back there looks like she's ready to go to the beach. Oh, Cheetah. You can keep it. I'm getting a lot of commendations throughout a lot of these. So I've been mostly competent. Thank goodness. Bzz, the battle is concluded. Alpha Group is victorious. This also signals the completion of my experiments and the incontestable fact of your supremacy. And yet, the process by which you consistently exceeded your projected potential continues to confound my understanding. Is it possible that test subject Sid's suppositions are correct? That my calculations and simulations are fundamentally flawed? Do mortals truly boast some indefinable quality that I do not possess and cannot measure? Error. Logic loop malfunction. Resolution requires additional data. If the nature of your existence defies standard reasoning, then I must examine you from an illogical angle. I will subject the unknown to the imperfect. Test subject Leon Starcrest will proceed to a supplemental stage. Right now? He didn't even give me a chance to take a break. Holy shit! He's like, fuck your checkpoints. You're going straight into the next one right now. Blip. I have altered this test world to reflect a recorded memory. It originates from a time when war had erupted on a distant star. I was deployed to the battlefield, and it was there that I engaged an enemy of unmatched strength. The contest ended prematurely, and I failed to bring down my foe. Subsequently, I lacked the data to fabricate a completely accurate simulation. And that's your reasoning for pitting something illogical against me, who you consider illogical. Imperfect, or vice versa. Yeah. Results stemming from such a subject are unreliable. Even should you be defeated by this incomplete creation, I will still honor your previous victories and engage you in combat myself. That is, of course, assuming you survive. According to my past observations, this opponent will accept only death as a condition of defeat. So I pretty much have to win then. Holy shit. It can't be! It breaks my heart. Prepare to face Midgard-Sormr, red-maned worm of the Dragon Star and nemesis of my world. This is not the fated spectre that you know, or a mortal conjured simulacrum. You will contend with a true incarnation of the Father of Dragons at the height of his power and glory. Omega, wait! Tried to say that like Leon. Ada, wait! You can't force Leon to fight 2 battles back to back. He needs time to regain his strength. He must be allowed to recuperate, or the data for your testing will be skewed. Flip. Acknowledged. Test subject Leon Starcrest, you are permitted to leave. Re-enter the test world when your strength has returned to optimal levels. Wow. Yeah, I was looking back through the log. I got 3 commendations on one of them. Shit. Of course, tanks usually get them easily just because they're at the top of the list, and some people just want to get the challenge log for commending to get the XP. I know I do that. But I do go out of my way to commend someone that I think stood out whenever that happens. Otherwise, I do just click on the person at the top of the list. Which usually is tanks, the way the game orders it. What? What? Alpha seems distressed and Sid is nowhere in sight. Leon, I'm right here. I don't think you can see me, but I'm standing next to Alpha. The fuck? The hell is going on? He's right there. What? He cheated! He's using invisibility hacks. And like fire was his main. Well, at least this is kind of cool in the sense that we get to see what Midgard-Sormr looked like in the peak of his power, right? Sid, what the fuck's going on, man? My apologies. It was not my intention to undermine the gravity of the situation with this diversion. I had noticed the kettle was boiled and thought some tea would soothe my nerves. I poured myself a cup and was halfway through drinking it before I realized my hand, not to mention the rest of me, had turned invisible. I understand the situation is unsettling, but I assure you I can still work unimpeded. Now, we had best discuss how to approach... Oh. He's back! Oh, it seems to have worn off. Why? What's wrong, little buddy? No, you're not to blame. I did ask you to fill the kettle after all. And I'd forgotten what Nero had said about your card producing water with, unexpected properties. Excuse me. Although it seems the effects were rather different this time. Wasn't shitty salt water? In any case, 'twas pleasant to have a distraction from our greater woes, however brief. We'll set the rest of the water aside for now and decide what to do with it later. Weird choice of music for that scene. Right, Leon. We need to talk about your forthcoming contest with Midgard-Sormr. Agreed. Watching through the monitor, I could see that this worm appeared different from the one we know. From everything we've heard thus far, it seems that Omega and Midgard-Sormr both hail from different stars. Two distant worlds at war with one another. As a result of that conflict, the worm was forced to gather his offspring and leave his home behind. And after evading Omega's pursuit over the course of an unimaginable journey, the Father of Dragons arrived here on our world. Damn! I'm assuming the entity you're to face is a younger, more vital Midgard-Sormr, just as he was when Omega first encountered him thousands of years in the past. A formidable foe, indeed. I did fight him once at the Keeper of the Lake, but obviously, like you said, he's at the peak of his powers this time. I fought him once at the Keeper of the Lake, but... Wait, you fought against Midgard-Sormr before? But yes, I think I see your concern. It would be unwise to treat this as the same opponent, considering how differently they might possibly be. It certainly doesn't help matters that Omega's little surprise isn't registered as an official test subject. I can't even use the terminals to search for the most basic information. With that in mind, Leon, I have a proposal. I wish to leave the completion of this supplemental stage entirely in your heroic hands. Rather than twiddle my thumbs whilst you prepare to contend with the dragon, I mean to instead work on a strategy for our inevitable confrontation with Omega. And then, my friend, we will put a stop to this mad machine once and for all. You said it, Sid. Let's get this piece of shit. I'm glad we're in agreement. I'll ready my tools and you ready yours. You've a worm to slay. Another one. At least this time it's just a simulation. I don't have to feel, guilty about killing someone. AlphaScape version 2.0 now accessible. What? Watch yourself in there, Leon. The underlying data may be imperfect, but I recall Omega saying something about the battle ending only when one of you is dead. Expect no quarter and give none. Wasn't intending to. This battle is a pain in the ass. I've looked up the mechanics and practiced the fight a few times before. Unfortunately, the last time I practiced it was way before this, though. So it's not going to help me anymore now. It's been too long. But it is a pain in the ass nonetheless. Because it's just bad. I mean, I can't even try to describe it because even after reading seeing a video on the mechanics again, after already having fought it twice, the next time I fought it, I still fell for the mechanics several times. It just gets me. It's just difficult to telegraph a lot of Midgard-Sormr's attacks, so I'm gonna have to stand in a certain spot and hope for the best. Somewhere that'll give me the best place to, dodge these attacks, but even so, if you don't know the tells well, you'll still get destroyed in this fight. Here's hoping for the best. You've conquered Chaos, a primal force of deific power. Omega, frustrated in its attempts to process the results of your improbable victory, has decided to conduct a supplemental stage of testing. Drawing on the incomplete data of a foe who once stood firm against Omega itself, the machine generates a new simulacrum for you to face. The legendary Midgard-Sormr, Father of Dragons. First time actually fighting him at full power. Can't help but notice he's a little bit smaller, probably because they needed him to fit on this battlefield. He's a little smaller than he's supposed to be, but Father Dragon will nevertheless provide quite a challenge, I feel. Anyway, while we're in queue, I know it might not take long this time, because last time was pretty quick, but I'm going to turn on the goddamn light in here. It's getting dark. And close the damn curtains. For the same reason. A lot of music. I could go back through some of these, I suppose. Considering the tone of everything happening, let's just stick with the last two that I've been using. But almost sneezed. I'm good. Ooh. Shit, I got a little contemplative there. I genuinely zoned out. I was contemplating the future. Just like everything that's coming after this, like really far ahead. My mind is, yeah, that Crimson. I've been pondering. My mind was just racing ahead to, speculating on Endwalker stuff. Just based on the very little information and trailers that I watched before it even launched back in December. Of course, that's something that I do from time to time throughout this entire tournament, of course. Or tournament? No. This entire marathon, my bad. Thinking of a tournament because that's kind of how Omega set this whole thing up, almost. Oh, that brings me to talk about the style of these raids. Do you guys notice with the Coils of Bahamut, it was almost like you were going through, like, back-to-back dungeons, almost. And with Alexander it seemed that way too, but only for, like, the first one in each tier, and then it was just, like, back-to-back boss fights instead. And now with this one, that's all it is. It's like, they just went into the style of... The raids are just boss fights. They're just, like, glorified trials, basically, that are a lot harder than regular trials. They're no longer like little dungeon crawls like they were back in A Realm Reborn and a little bit of Heavensward. They're just straight up boss fights now. They set up the story pretty well for it though. Your search info has been updated. You are now AFK. But yeah, obviously, naturally, as I start to get closer and closer, I'm starting to get invigorated, excited, you know? Starting to speculate on what might happen. Like I said, even back in the early days of my marathon, when I started this back in like October, November, well into December and January too, as I was playing through old FF games, between streams there would be times where I would just kind of sit there and ponder. And it would get me excited to keep going with the marathon, and so I could get closer and closer and eventually get there. We still got a long ways to go, but I feel closer than ever now. Literally just one expansion away now. It's kind of a surreal feeling considering how long I've been doing this. Been 5 minutes for that one. Fuck it, I feel like listening to that one again. I'll switch over to the other one when my mood changes. But yeah, I'm just like, dude, it's been a hell of a journey. Started in October, now it's June. $8 months? Damn. 8 fucking months. Though if I hadn't taken like entire weeks to 2 weeks off at times, I think I would have gotten here a lot sooner. Granted, 2 of those weeks were because I literally had COVID. Never got it confirmed with a diagnosis, but I know it was because I'd never been sick like that before. Not that it was like severe, but it was the symptoms were something I'd never experienced before. They were so fucking weird. It was like a very weird cold. But there were other times where I took like 2, sometimes almost even 3 weeks off for no reason though. I guess thinking back on it now, not really no reason. I was going through some personal shit. Had to cut out some toxic people from my life. Like cutting out a tumor. Quite painful, but necessary. And then after that, I've had a lot more free time for this. But even with the free time, like I said, there were still times where I got lazy and didn't stream when I could have. It's also to blame, my OCD is to blame for that a little bit too. Because sometimes I had a chance to do short streams, like half an hour to an hour. And I wouldn't do it because I wanted my streams to be a minimum of 2 hours. So then I didn't stream at all. Horrible idea. It also set me back doing that. Short stream is better than nothing, right? You still make some progress. So I've been trying to get over that too, and trying to do just stream whenever I can, even if it has to be short. I've been doing that a little bit more now lately. Every time we've sat here waiting in queue, I just keep I keep zoning out and staring at the little pyramid there that's floating up and down. See how it's like spinning above Leon? That tetrahedron shape or whatever. supposed to be how the concept of lava lamps became a thing, at least back in the 80s when they were popular. Whether you're staring at a campfire or something like that, that just kind of keeps moving on its own, even if it's gentle, it's easy to zone out on it. Even the ocean itself. You go to the beach and just stare at the ocean, you can zone out pretty easily. However, meditation preaches that we should focus on the here and now. So if we're gonna zone out on it, we should zone out on it, and nothing else, right? Instead of thinking about something else, just pay attention to what it's doing. For a minute I thought it changed direction, but I think it's just the way it sort of lined up with the screen. Because it can look like it's flat, you know? You can lose the concept of it being 3D for like a brief moment. This is some very intense meditation music. Alright, I got something else on my YouTube playlist. Wait. Don't know why it didn't start at 0. Oh shit! Cue popped. We're in. Perfect ramp up music. One second. Let me get my ass up off the floor, for one. And then let me set up the audio again. Damn, this song was just... It didn't even get to finish ramping up. Hold on, give it a second. There we go. I wanted to, you know... wanted the beat to drop first. Alright, let's do it. Of course somebody would withdraw. Fuck you. Somebody let the timer run out, obviously. They were AFK. Imagine, oh man, it was probably some poor DPS. Went to go take a shit or something. No. You know, if they heard it from the bathroom after they were sitting there waiting for like 15 plus minutes or something. That happened to me at least once or twice. Now it's gonna happen again. There's one DPS waiting, hitting OK. Or commence. Here it comes. Oh shit, he made it. He risked his keyboard or controller in time. Well, I should say they. Alpha Escape version 2.0. Father Dragon. I'm ready to die 1,000,000 times. Might even wipe, depending on how many of us are new. Yep, there's people saying they don't remember this. It's gonna be a fun time. I am Midgard Sormer, father of dragons and paragon of worms. My coils will confound your mortal eyes. That's true. That means stay outside, right? Yeah. See, that's what I don't know. Are you supposed to pay attention to the spins he does before the attack? Because see, he did 2 spins, and then he does 2 more as he attacks. That's why it gets confusing. I'm guessing it's the 2 before, like that. So that means go out, right? And then here he does the attack. Boom. Holy shit. Stop running in the same direction as me. Fuck! You can't control that. Sometimes that happens. Oh shit! Whoa, it's the fate of all dragons to shed one form for another. Even in battle are mine assaults ever changing. See, that time, that's what I'm saying. That time he did it during the attack, where before he had already done 2 spins. This is why it gets me killed. I'm just like... Okay, he did 2 spins. I'll stay out. But now he's doing 2 flips. So go back in? I don't fucking know. I just don't get it. Stay on the corners. Because there's still another attack. Overlong doth this clash endure. Let us not allow the dance to grow stale. This one? Oh! That was... Oh god. That was close. Oh, I should have gotten out of this, right. Well, I'm fucked. I was like, I can stand in it, right? No. What the fuck? Wow, I had a hell of a brain fart there. I was like, it's okay to stand in this, right? Not at all. Come forth, my child. Feast upon the flesh of impudent mortals. Someone has to tank this. It's gonna be me. In the heart of the eldest star doth weep the light of oblivion. Thought we were gonna have to move out of the way. Oh shit! Damn! Well, that fucking hurt, but Mr. Paladin here saved all my lives. Halen? What the fuck does that mean? What's he gonna do? Oh. Some kind of tank buster, alright. Fair enough. Hexaflare. Oh, it travels. Oh shit. Like that, there we go. Northern Cross, he's about to freeze the floor. Does that mean go out? Still don't get it, just following everyone else. Two flips. Actually, he did like 3. I caught that one. He just flips over. Oh shit! Jesus Christ. Almost killed that guy. That last one trailing far behind. He's as good as dead. Someone LB his ass. But level 3! Yeah, exactly. Just fucking do it. Kill him! Jesus! That was good shit. Hey! Good intergalactic battle. I'm assuming we were on, basically a simulacrum of its homeworld, right? Seems like it anyway. I don't care if I end up with trash, I want to see this. Oh, hold on, there might be waiting on me. I guess they want this stuff. There you go. This is all we get to see of Midgard-Stormr's world, I'm guessing. I haven't even voted on that stuff. It's a green dot. Meaning it's a green planet because it's all glowing green. Fair enough. Cool. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, I got a comm. Probably a sympathy comm because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing during that. The kettle's contents have been left to cool. Quiet, quiet! Sid? What's up, my man? Another stunning victory, Leon. I felt the breath catch in my throat on more than one occasion. You and me both. Yet even as I watched the battle rage, I was struck by an idle thought. Did you notice the resemblance between Midgard-Stormr and Shinryu? Yeah, of course, I mean... I see what you're getting at. It's like, one's a primal. But yeah, I get it. Unlike most primals, Shinryu's form had no basis in any system of belief. I've heard the theory that the summoner was simply influenced by the majesty and power of the elder primal Bahamut. He was, yeah, Ilberd. He was thinking of that, and he was filled with rage and hatred, yeah. But now I'm beginning to think there might be another explanation, that the primal took its shape from the ancestor of all dragons on Hydaelyn. Why would it do that, though? The widely held concept of how a dragon appears has, for centuries upon centuries, been rooted in depictions of Midgard-Stormr. The summoner may not have even sought to imitate him specifically. Subconscious thoughts and memories alone could have guided the similarity. Not that I have any way of confirming this theory, of course. That's something you should pass along to, like, Urianger or something. Nevertheless, 'tis interesting that Shinryu's summoning should lead us to Awakening Omega. A strange twist of fate when you consider the machine's connection to Midgard-Stormr. Well, whatever else Destiny has in store, you've already bested the opponent that Omega itself failed to overcome. A feat worthy of celebration, I'd say. Well said, Sid, well said. All this trash lining my pockets. In the end, there is Omega. In the beginning there was chaos, and in the end there's Omega. Interesting. I don't know where that comes from or what it's referencing. I feel like it's something that's common knowledge, but I have yet to come across it. Your move, Omega. It's time to duel. I need that song. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, man. I gotta get that song now. That one might actually be DMCA, though. I gotta be careful. Whoa. Flip. Shutdown initiated. All core experiments and supplemental testing concluded. Discarding test worlds. System resources rerouting to primary operations. Putting himself back to normal? Whoa! Got the Illuminati eye looking over here. What the hell's she doing? The egg! Throwing it out with the rest of the trash? Congratulations, Alpha Group. As the last surviving test subjects, you have removed every challenger on your path to reach me. I too am eager to meet you in battle. The margin of error I observed between my simulations and your practical performance against Midgard Sormer necessitates direct and immediate analysis. Flip. Confrontation imminent. Prepare for unmitigated hostilities, then activate the relocation device to enter the arena. Reminds me of the end of Armored Core Massive Arena? When Nineball, which is just an AI, is about to fight you and kill you. Says, commencing hostilities? Yeah. This is it then. Omega's power might seem overwhelming, but trust in old Sid. I have a fair idea of where its weakness lies. And I've been working on something to exploit that vulnerability. I just need a little more time to prepare. The trauma, dude. Painful memories. First things first, we make a few adjustments here, like so. Ah, Alpha, do you have any of those tricks and tools left over? I want us to have as many options as possible, so let's lay our cards on the table, as it were. Again with the puns, man. Does he have the actual cards? He just shot them out! There we go. Must have accidentally hit it twice. What do we have here? Some sort of gem? A couple of stones? And one single card. This makes things bigger, does it? Or is it smaller? Judging by the way they shaded it and everything, I think it's shrinking. No translator though. Right. It was foolish of me to even ask. We'd best leave you in charge of when and how to use your special tools. Ah yes, I almost forgot. What's wrong, little buddy? You can always claw things if you run out of tricks. I like it. Don't worry. We'll win this. Promise. Got this, little buddy. He doesn't seem too convinced. I tried to, rally him, but... So with the little potion. Here, you should carry this as well. I filled an empty bottle with the invisibility water from the kettle. Oh wow! It might just prove useful in the right situation. Listen to me, Alpha. Up until now, Omega has poked and prodded us from one mad experiment to the next, and honestly, we have no idea what might happen in there. But between us, I believe we have the knowledge and the skills to prevail. If you see a chance to make a difference, I want you to take it. All you need is faith in yourself. And a little courage to see it through. That's never easy, but we believe in you, Alpha. He's like, yeah. You got this, little guy. Right. Jesse should have that device put together by now. Let's head outside, shall we? Got it, Sid. Picked up all the stuff he crapped out. Okay. I'll head straight back to Ralger's Reach and collect my new toy. I do still need to run through a final inspection, so feel free to rest in town in the meantime. We'll discuss strategy the moment I'm finished. Quack. Alpha seems concerned for Sid's well-being. You have a feeling he wants you to follow him. Oh my god, look at the way he runs! He runs like a little Chow from Sonic Adventure 2. Where they sort of spread out their arms and just do this as they run. Never realized how much it actually resembles flapping wings. Cute little onion-headed creatures. What? There's that PTSD again. You're looking a bit shaky there, old friend. Nero! They let you out of bed, did they? He's like, I would have been here regardless. After studying the data collected from the battle between Omega and Shinryu, one has led to a certain conclusion. Of all the Primal's attacks, Shinryu's burst of lightning was the one thing that pierced the machine's defenses. Omega, it would seem, is vulnerable to electrical energy. Aye. All the available evidence supports such a theory. It is likely an intrinsic weakness that even Omega itself cannot fully compensate for. Yet, be that as it may, I imagine it can still shrug off shocks generated by ordinary means. We'll need to hit it with a truly gargantuan blast of energy. And so you made that. You based it on Midas's design, didn't you? The plans for the lunar transmitter. When my father was establishing a connection between the transmitter and Dalamud, he invented a method for accumulating and converting energy on a vast scale. Too vast, as it turned out. But the technology which leveled an entire town may be exactly the tool we need for the task at hand. I've made my own improvements and triple-checked the calculations. On parchment, the idea is sound, and Jesse has done a fine job assembling the parts. I failed to see the problem. What are you afraid of, Garland? I don't know. The device should give us the edge we need. It is just... Whenever I look at it, I'm taken back to those dark days after the incident. I remember bodies melted by searing heat. Jesus Christ. I remember the bereaved and feel the weight of their silent accusations. I remember the Empire's remorseless response. We turned outwards in search of answers, but the inventions we created to ensure our future were used instead to destroy lives, to wage war. So it was almost like a nuclear bomb going off if he's talking about melted bodies. And that's why I fled. I came to Eorzea and swore to only employ technology for benevolent ends. But naught is ever so straightforward. Every connection I have forged with the people of this realm reminds me of that fact. Often the act of living itself is a never-ending struggle against a world determined to oppose you. I wonder what we would have seen here if we hadn't done the Crystal Tower series. Back when it was optional, you know? Or Alexander, that is still optional. You can have the best of intentions and still cause hurt to yourself or others. But 'tis in confronting these wounds that we learn the better path. How to grasp those moments of true contentment. What drivel? You never used to bother with all this tedious introspection. With all this tedious introspection. Feeling our morality, are we? Our mortality, are we? Mayhap I am. I had no such hesitation when I was a student. It was all bright and shiny innovation on the double, and later consequences be damned. But then you saw where that led, right? Now, though, I don't mind thinking through the outcomes and taking the time to produce just one rigorously tested and carefully designed invention. 'Tis a reflection, I think, of just how much there is in this world I care about now aside from myself. Ugh, I don't understand you at all. But I suppose, if anything, Omega and its unfettered testing methods represent the student you once were. And if you insist that your present self is the better one, then you'd best prove it with that device of yours. Oh, I see, so it's like Sid is fighting his old self. That's pretty deep. By fighting Omega, I mean. I suppose I must. Even Sid didn't expect something that deep coming from Nero, and so nonchalantly, too. Omega's your former self, Sid. You must overcome him. Although 'tis hardly fair to compare my youth to Omega's solitary existence. I always had the second best student in class, pushing me to excel. The compliment! I seem to recall a twinge of irritation anytime he would outscore me on an exam. I've been out of bed too long. I'd better go and lie down before I fall over. Or vomit. Not really a vomit sound, I know, but... Alpha's too adorable. Ah, he's so cute. Quick. Sid? First Alpha, and now you. Come to check on my progress, have you? Well, I'm happy to report that everything is set and ready to go. Once you're finished with restocking and repairing, or whatever it is you adventurers do, then we can head back to the Rift and confirm our strategy. We do that. Sid? We do that. Restocking and repair, I mean. I was like, where the hell's the Mender? They're on the opposite side of this fucking place. Actually, no. No, they're not. They're just over here. Thank God. Ah, excuse me. Getting hiccups at the worst time. Shit. There we go. Scared the crap out of me. That sound. Must have been that person getting off their mount. What's up, buddy? All that junk down there. Omega's causing all this pollution. Creating matter and then just discarding it without even a second thought of where he throws it away. It's not part of his programming, right? She's just like, I'm done. I don't need this crap anymore. Fuck it. Wherever it ends up, that's where it ends up. She gives no shits. Good morrow to you, sir. Will you be descending into the yawn? Well, yes, my good man. I will. A machine can only follow what it's programmed to do, right? Omega itself admitted that. It's just following its programming. Which was apparently to just try to get stronger and stronger at all costs. For some reason. Quiet! Quiet! Apologies for the delay, but I think you'll agree the Ironworks' latest invention was worth the wait. Oh, really? What do you got? This is a control module for something I've dubbed the Omega Jammer. It will allow you to generate a colossal burst of lightning at any point of your choosing. The effect won't disable Omega itself, of course, but it should be strong enough to knock out its armaments. I'll remain here and operate the main body of the device. I want to do everything in my power as an engineer to ensure that you emerge the victor. It all comes down to this. Said it, Sid. AlphaScape version 3.0 now accessible. Final battle. Taking this hunk of junk apart. Look at that menacing stare. But it's not really menacing. It's just soulless. Just a soulless gaze. Unfeeling and uncaring. Anyway, before we commence the final battle, it is time for another break for me again. So, I will be right back, as usual, in about 15 minutes. And then we'll finish off Omega. Hopefully it'll be a more exciting battle than it was in FF15, where it was just kind of a war of attrition, us just trading blows and, you know. The attack patterns kind of started becoming repetitive after a while, and it was like 25 minutes of us just beating the shit out of each other the same way over and over. But, I did appreciate the music, though. When we fought Omega in FF15, I liked that Yoko Shimomura made, the soundtrack be like a remix, and also kind of a loose Far Cry. Well, a remix and a Far Cry, a very loose remix, basically, of the Final Fantasy V battle theme, along with the Interdimensional Rift theme that we're listening to right now, and I suppose that's pretty much it, right? Just the regular battle theme with the Interdimensional Rift a little bit, and along with her own, like, original composition. And you'll be excited to know that for FF14, we have another original composition piece of music, by Masayoshi Soken this time, for the fight against Omega, and you'll find out what that sounds like when I come back and we start the fight, so, BRB.